What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, August 21st, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 16:28 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in this morning. So, we had Skymaster messages broadcasted this morning by U.S. nuclear forces. There were probably half a dozen to a dozen of them broadcasted from about 10 a.m. Eastern Time to about noon Eastern Time. And a Skymaster message is one of the highest priority nuclear attack options broadcasted by U.S. nuclear forces. The only thing that is more important than a Skymaster message is the emergency war order, which is the actual order to launch nuclear weapons. So we were listening to it live this morning on the 24/7 live stream. This is another reason why you have to check out my 24/7 live streams. And I am currently in the process of hooking up my own radio system with a gigantic antenna. But I want to just quickly shout out Steve Quayle. Steve Quayle has been sharing out my videos a lot lately and over the last year or so. Check out Steve Quayle. He goes on the Hagman Report every week on Rumble, and he is a very smart guy. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is. He's been covering world events and all different kinds of things for a long time now. So thank you very much, Steve Quayle, and check him out, stevequayle.com. But I want to just play some of these Skymaster messages for you. I was able to scroll back into my stream and grab some screen recordings here for you guys. So once again, a Skymaster message is the highest priority message transmitted by U.S. nuclear forces, okay? So these are messages that are going out to bombers, to nuclear armed submarines, and to our missile silos. Now, these Skymaster messages in particular sound like they were directed to bombers because they were 4-character messages. And when they send out 4-character messages, those are arming codes for bombers. Okay. So these are not actually launching codes, these are arming codes. So that's like the equivalent of pulling the hammer back on a revolver, but it doesn't actually mean squeezing the trigger. Okay, that's the emergency war order, is actually squeezing the trigger, and that comes from the president. Now, there were some people again saying that this was an exercise. Guys, they don't do exercises on primary nuclear war frequencies. Okay, that would be like the equivalent of your local sheriff's office or your local police department, local fire department doing exercises on 911. They can't do it because if there's an actual emergency and they're in the middle of doing a big exercise on 911, how can people call in and report emergencies? Okay, so they do not do training exercises on primary nuclear war frequencies. Okay, now the last time we had such a large amount of Skymaster messages was back in April, and that was on the famous Culinary Night on this channel. If you don't know what Culinary Night is, I recommend you watch, and it's in the description below this video. It's on Rumble. But on Culinary Night, we heard for several hours Skymaster messages, and they were broadcasting 3 and 4 character messages, which go to our bombers and our silos. So something big is about to go down. Now, in addition to all the Skymaster messages this morning, we did have a presidential doomsday plane fly from Strategic Command Headquarters in Offutt Air Base to Colorado Springs. Okay, now Offutt Air Base is where Dick Cheney and Bush went after 9/11. There's a bunker underneath Offutt Air Base, but there's also an even bigger bunker in Colorado Springs. Okay, so a presidential doomsday plane flying to Colorado Springs right after all these Skymaster messages were sent out. And I'll show you guys the flight path of that doomsday plane in a second here. Okay, but Colorado Springs is home of Cheyenne Mountain, which is the massive doomsday bunker, and also NORAD is there as well. Okay, so this is not a coincidence, guys. Something big is about to go down. Let me play this for you so you can hear this.
This is bid 1 2, Skymaster. One message, 4 items follow. Skymaster, Skymaster. One message, 4 items follow.
Okay, so you can hear him say, Skymaster, Skymaster, one message of 4 items. You know what's crazy, guys, is that actually I had a dream last night about this happening, that I was warning people that our bombers were getting ready to launch. And I was sitting on a live stream and I was hearing the klaxon alarms in the background in the EAM. And I was telling people that those are the bomb bay doors opening up. And that's what those alarms are for. And that's what happened on culinary night. And so in my dream, I was warning people they're about to launch, and nobody was listening to me. And it's crazy how I wake up and sure enough, there's Skymaster messages. So I don't know if that was God warning me, but crazy timing on that. Here's another Skymaster message.
Skymaster, 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 guard 3, 4, on 1, 1, 5, over.
So that was another one. And then here's another one. There were at least 6 that I counted.
One message, 4 items follow. 5, 2, 6, 1, 4 items follow. Stand by.
So you can hear him say one message of 4 items. Stand by.
With 2, 1 minute, 4 items. Guard 3.
So the reception was kind of bad.
Skymaster, Skymaster, this is bid 1 2 on 11175, over.
And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing their most aggressive discount yet on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewith.nyprepper.com. They've lowered the price of their 3-month food supply from $800 down to $500. 3 months of emergency food for $500. That is a really good deal, and it will last you 25 years because it is freeze dried and it's all packed within 6 rugged water resistant buckets. So you have all that food in a small package. You can store that pretty much anywhere. And you can also take it with you. If you have to bug out, you can throw that in your vehicle easily. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $300 off the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, $500 for it. Also, they have free shipping and handling included. In addition to the 3-month supply, they also have a general store. And to get to their general store, you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see the My Patriot Supply logo at the very bottom of the page. You click on that and it'll take you to their general store, and they have all kinds of discounts. And to get the deals, you got to use my link, preparewithnyprepper.com, and I'll leave the link in the description below this video. So absolutely crazy, guys. And let me show you the flight paths over the U.S. right now. So here's that presidential doomsday plane. You can see it went to Colorado Springs, took off from Offutt Air Base. We currently have a nuke sniffer airborne. These are planes that can fly in the air and detect radiation in the atmosphere. And we also have a missile detecting and tracking plane in the air for the 3rd day in a row over Iowa. And that is very concerning. And so these planes can literally track missile trajectories. Okay, so doomsday plane, nuke sniffer, missile tracker, and then here we have a B 52 nuclear bomber airborne over Texas right now. Okay, so get prepared, guys. Things are about to get really crazy. It could happen tonight. Here we have some sub hunters that were off the coast of Virginia Beach this afternoon. And we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. So, Hezbollah launched 50 rockets at the city of Katsrin in northern Israel this morning. And now the IDF is preparing to attack Hezbollah. The Israeli War Cabinet had an emergency meeting today. And apparently, Netanyahu spoke with Biden shortly after it happened, and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken left the Middle East today prematurely with no ceasefire deal having been signed as Biden promised. Okay, so Hezbollah launching a massive rocket attack this morning, and it does appear that we could be hours away from a massive strike on Hezbollah by Israel. And IDF spokesman Hagari, in an unusual message in response to the barrage from Hezbollah, said today, once again, Hezbollah is firing indiscriminately at Israeli civilians. Like any country that protects its citizens, we will act accordingly. Okay, so I don't know if these Skymaster messages are because Israel's getting ready to strike Hezbollah in a massive way. I don't know if it's related to what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, which I'm going to update you on in a minute here, or if it's something related to Iran. I do not know, okay, but our nuclear forces are on maximum alert right now. And the Israeli army has begun transferring forces from Gaza into northern Israel, according to Israeli Channel 12. And a spokesman for the municipality of Kiryat Shimona, which is in northern Israel, has called on residents to remain in fortified areas for the foreseeable future. This is being reported by Yediot News. And Iran has closed its airspace over the next 2 days due to missile launches. They put out a NOTAM, which is what you can see here. Okay, it says rocket launches will take place within area with the following coordinates, and they have like 35 degrees north, 54 degrees east, 35 degrees north, 55 degrees east, 34 degrees north, 55 degrees east, and 34 degrees north, 54 degrees east. And it says here from 0330 to 0730. Okay, so I'm assuming that's local time, and that is from August 22nd through the 24th. Okay, so I don't know if they're going to start launching rockets on Israel the next 2 days. We'll have to wait and see. There was a massive drone attack on Moscow last night. 50 to 80 drones were launched at Moscow, prompting Putin's doomsday plane to go airborne. And Ukrainian forces are now invading the Bryansk region of Russia. Apparently, battles are being reported along the border. And the governor of the Bryansk region says that the FSB and the Russian army foiled an attempt of a Ukrainian scout group to enter the Klimovo district of Bryansk. Okay, so this is huge, guys. Ukraine is now expanding their operation into Bryansk, just like I told you they would. Now, what you're looking at here is a map showing fires that are visible to satellites. This is coming from NASA. All these red dots or squares are fires, and these are all the fires that have been going on today. And what you can see here is that the Ukrainians are attacking the Glushkova region more. Okay, so this area right here, south of the same river, this is the river that the Ukrainians destroyed all the bridges on and cut off all the Russian forces here from reinforcement. And so now the Ukrainians are going to take this big piece here of Russia south of the same river, the Glushkova region. Okay, but you can see more fires here in Glushkova and also in the adjacent areas today, which means that Ukraine is launching rockets into this area and they're going to be moving in shortly. And if we look at the last 24 hours, you can see a lot of activity here in the Kursk region and near Glushkova. And then if we look at the last 7 days, look at all the fires here from all the shelling. And look at the fires along the border here near Belgorod. Absolutely insane. It's rivaling the amount of fires in eastern Ukraine. Look, here you can see Donetsk. You can see where Chasiv Yar is and Avdiivka and the big battles here near Pokrovsk. You can see the density of the fires are very similar to the density near Donetsk. Okay, so we're seeing some very intense artillery duels going on here and all along the border here with Belgorod. Look at that. Okay, but it does appear that the Ukrainians tried to enter Bryansk or are entering Bryansk. Okay, so they're going to be expanding their offensive into Bryansk. And yesterday, I reported that in a classified document in March, Biden ordered U.S. troops to prepare for nuclear confrontations with Russia, China, and North Korea. Okay, so that is very, very concerning. And there was a Russian emergency situations plane that flew down into southeastern Belarus 2 days ago. And Belarus has put all their forces on high alert and have moved all their troops to the border of Ukraine. At least 1/3 of the Belarusian army is now on the border of Ukraine. And the leader of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, said that he has positioned air defenses and aviation along the Ukrainian border now. Okay. And Reuters is reporting that the chief of the IAEA, that's the UN nuclear agency, is going to be visiting the Kursk nuclear power plant in late August. Okay, so any day now, the leader of the UN's nuclear agency will be going to the Kursk nuclear power plant, which is right up here. Okay, it's right in this area. Ukrainian forces are literally just a few miles away. And I did share a picture with you guys in my update 2 days ago of these trenches that have been dug around the Kursk nuclear power plant. You can see these trenches here, which appear to be just regular personnel trenches for infantry forces to shoot out of. Okay, these don't appear to be anti-tank trenches because anti-tank trenches are wider. These appear to be very narrow. So these look like just infantry fighting trenches and not anti-vehicle or anti-tank trenches, but still very, very concerning. And the U.S. State Department is warning that over the next several days, there's an increased risk of nighttime and daytime Russian drone and missile attacks throughout Ukraine in connection with Ukraine's Independence Day. U.S. citizens should monitor local media for updates and identify shelter locations. And according to the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR, the Ukrainian military operation in Kursk, was planned with the involvement of US, British, and Polish intelligence services. The Ukrainian units involved in the operation underwent combat training at centers in the UK and Germany. Additionally, NATO military advisors are reportedly assisting in directing the Ukrainian forces that entered Russian territory, providing them with satellite reconnaissance data. And the Russian Foreign Ministry warned Latvia over their growing involvement in the armed conflict in Ukraine. And the Prime Minister of India arrived in Poland today. And I want to show you guys some more reconnaissance activity over Poland and the Baltics. Here you can see this British reconnaissance plane patrolling northern Poland and Lithuania, flying around Kaliningrad last night multiple times. And then we also had this British sub hunter, which was flying off the coast of Kaliningrad and in northern Poland. So, very serious situation, guys. Sky Master messages broadcasted this morning. Okay, Ukraine now trying to enter the Bryansk region, another part of Russia, another province in Russia. Okay, remember what Russia's nuclear war doctrine is. Okay, it says that Russia can use nuclear weapons if they are under attack, if they're being invaded. And Ukraine launched the largest drone attack on Moscow to date last night, okay, prompting Putin's doomsday plane to go airborne. And it looks like Israel and Hezbollah and Iran are about to go at it as well. So I'm going to continue to monitor all these events, and I will update you accordingly. I will continue my 24/7 live stream, obviously, where I'm going to be monitoring and updating over there as well. So pop in and you can listen to the emergency action messages. You can listen to our nuclear forces, the Skymaster messages if they come back again. But the fact that there were so many Skymaster messages this morning means something could be imminent, okay? Any hour, any day, all right? So that's pretty much it for this one. I might be back later on tonight with another update. If not, I'll be in the 24/7 stream. So until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Culinary out.